The diagnostic of informality really entails assessing the informal economy in the country to understand its scope, its causes, and its consequences. Really to understand the sector better. Why is it important? I believe we all have, or we do all engage with the informal sector, and it's an activity or it comprises activities that we make use of their products, their services, and because of the nature of informality is that we normally do not know much about it. So, and we believe that this sector, especially with the onset of COVID, we have seen what critical role it played in sustaining lives and providing income and so on. So therefore, we see it as a sector with potential that can form as a foundation if it is allowed to grow and be to grow so that it can ultimately transition to formality. So that's the importance that we see and the potential and the opportunities that we see with the informal sector.
So, Erwin, can you talk to us about the key findings of the report, particularly regarding the size as well as the impact of informal economic activity in the country?
Yes, indeed, the report or the assessment confirms the significance of informality in our economy in terms of employment and also in terms of its contribution to our GDP. It also identifies key issues and challenges. At the launch today, a presentation on the report will be made, and then specific and more details would be provided. And the report will become available after the launch today.
Mm-hmm. How does the Ministry of Finance plan to use this report in policy making and implementation?
So informal activities should not be seen as an activity by one entity, and this we have tried to demonstrate in terms of the collaborative approach that we took in terms of the diagnostic. We have a national working group on informality that comprises various stakeholders, the Ministry of Industries and Mines, the Bank of Namibia, the UN systems in Namibia, the Ministry of Labor, and so on. So that's how we should see the informal activity, that we all have a role to play and be able to facilitate for this sector to be able to grow, and for activities that are initiated as informal to really grow and transition to formality. These are activities that put food on the tables, that generate income, and therefore it is up to all to identify their respective role in how we can facilitate and support the informal sector, and not to put a negative connotation in terms of the title of informality, and that it should be something that should be controlled or managed, but we see it rather as something that should be facilitated, and then we'll be able to exploit opportunities that are reflected by those activities being initiated, although in the informal sector.
So run us through the program of today. I mean, what can we expect to, or what can those who will attend expect to happen from the beginning all the way to the end?
Yes, the program will be starting at 9:00 at the Bank of Namibia Auditorium. We have already been fully subscribed, so we have made provision for live streaming of the event on the Bank of Namibia platforms, so that those that were not able to make it, or those that are not able to make it, and those that are far or are also able to follow. Again, as I indicated, that this was a collaborative effort. We will have speakers ranging from the Deputy Governor of the bank, the UN representative, resident representative in Namibia, and then we will have the presentation on the informality report by the consultants that had undertaken the report. We also have a speaker representing the informal sector speak at the venue, and then we'll have a Q&A session or interactive session, and then also afterwards be able to really network and engage after the formal closure of the event.
Mm-hmm. So looking forward, what immediate actions do you hope will follow after today's discussions?
The report identifies issues and challenges, but also opportunities. The approach was that researchers went out in the field and engaged with the various stakeholders, including those that are directly involved in the informal sector. And through that process, issues have been identified, challenges have been identified, but also opportunities have been identified. And it's really for us and for all the stakeholders to take ownership of these and see ourselves, identify the roles that we can play in order to make sure that we can facilitate for the informal activities to grow and to flourish and to ultimately transition to formal to the formal sector. We see the informality really as the foundation on which we can build in terms of the challenges that we face in terms of unemployment, in terms of inequality, and in terms of poverty. So these are really presents an opportunity for all the stakeholders to really be able to support and contribute, and for us to move in terms of our development objectives here. Thank you.